to Mentorship Matters, a podcast by trusted mentors. I'm Costeena Weathersby, and today we are going to talk to another one of our mentor-mentee pairs. They're going to tell us about their relationship, their connection, and prove to us why mentorship does matter. But first, I'd like to remind you that Trusted Mentors is an Indianapolis nonprofit. We recruit, we train, and then we connect adults as mentors with other adults who are at risk. So it could be someone who has been to prison and they are re entering society, or someone 18 years old and they're aging out of foster care, or someone who has been homeless or is at threat of being homeless. At the end of the day, our mentors walk alongside of these individuals, helping them to stabilize their lives and to succeed. Speaking of which, today we are talking with John Ritchie and his mentee, Johnny. Welcome, guys.
Thank you. How you doing?
All right. I am so glad to have you all on Mentorship Matters. I know that you guys have such an interesting story, so I want to talk about it. All right. Johnny, you have had an interesting path that led you to Trusted Mentors and needing a mentor. Tell me a little bit about that story.
Well, I got out of prison in 2018.
Okay.
I had spent 25 and a half years in prison.
Yes.
When I got out and re-entered society, it wasn't nothing like it was when I got locked up.
I'm telling you.
It was hard to find a job. First place I went was Goodwill, and I worked there for about 2.5 years. They did find me a better job. However, after I went to the new job that they had found me, I sort of fell off the wagon. I'd been sober for like 27 and a half years. And for the next 4 years, I stayed drunk and got in some trouble and went through some bad relationships and went back to work for Goodwill.
Okay.
And I went through a program called New Beginnings.
Nice.
Which was really great. Went through there, and while I was at the New Beginnings class, Trusted Mentors come in there and asked us, did we feel like we needed a mentor? Well, I'm 63 years old, and I'm thinking, well, I don't need maybe I do need a mentor because, you know, I was still having an edgy thing about, like, falling off the wagon or something, and I didn't want to. So when they come to me, I said, yes, I want a mentor. And then they gave me Mr. John here.
All right.
You know?
Yes.
And he has helped me a lot. He has helped me stay focused. He's a good listener for me. And, you know, we talk like friends.
Yes.
I look up to him. He's an inspiration.
Yes.
I'm 63. I think he's 39, but, you know,
A little bit more.
Okay. But anyway, he's older than me, and he's had a little bit more experience in life.
Okay.
He's a veteran.
Yes.
And I love that about him.
Yes.
You know, I got a lot of respect for veterans and stuff. And it's like we sort of communicate, because I'm an Army brat. You know, my whole family was in the military. So, you know, being with him and talking to him, I get the military side of him sometimes.
Okay.
You know, the sternness, and, you know, he gives me great suggestions. You know, and I found out it's up to me to take those suggestions and put them to work. And believe me, I do. Some of the suggestions he gives me, I put them to work.
Very good, very good. And we're going to find out a little bit more about that. But before we do, you know, you talk about, or you mentioned that you came out and you were trying to find a job and it was hard. Can you tell just a little bit about how hard it is when you are formerly incarcerated and you're coming back? How hard is it? What do you seem to run up against?
Your charges that you had can cause you not to be able to get jobs because people do background checks. And as soon as they see something they don't like, it's like, okay, we'll give you a phone call, or, you know, we'll send you a message. And you might go through 30 applications and get the same answer.
Yes.
You know, so it makes it really hard. It makes you want to do bad things that you don't want to do, but in order to survive, you have to do it sometimes.
Yes, yes.
You know, I didn't want to go that route in life because, you know, I was in age and, it just wasn't for me no more.
Yes, absolutely.
You know.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. Yes, because I think sometimes people don't really realize, just how difficult it is when you're coming out and you're trying to reenter and you have that stain on you. And then there are some employers that say that they will hire people with a background, but then you'll be surprised. Some people go to work on the first day and then they say, "Oh, we can't have you." So it is very challenging. Thank you for sharing that.
Well,
Yeah.
could I add this?
Yes.
It's like prior to being locked up, I had a real good education.
Mm-hmm.
I was in an apprenticeship program with Ford Motor Company that I had completed. And I mean, I've got skills in different areas. I've also got a bachelor's degree and stuff.
Right.
There's a lot of work I can do now, but can't get a job doing it because people do those background checks.
Yes, yes, yes.
So
Well, we're getting better. There are companies that are now reconsidering that, and so I
second
think,
chance
yeah, giving
places,
second
yeah.
chances. Yes, fair employment. Yes, thank you so much. Now, this brings me to John. John, you know, Johnny talks about how you've been towards him, but I want to first find out from you how long you've been a trusted mentor and what made you decide to do this.
I've been a trusted mentor for, about a year, I think.
Okay.
Um, what got me interested in this, as a matter of fact, what even brought this to my attention
Yeah.
was one of the places that I know Johnny worked was Recycle Force.
Okay.
And Recycle Force is a company which hires only ex-convicts
That's right.
and helps them to re-enter society.
Yeah.
And a gentleman that works there had come to our church and gave a presentation on the program at one of our mission Sundays. And when I heard about helping ex-convicts re-enter society, it hit a personal key with me.
Yes.
And so I spoke to him afterwards and found out that there were volunteer opportunities. And at that time, I thought it was with Recycle Force. I didn't even know about you folks.
Yes.
And then, we talked a little bit, and then he put me in touch with Stephen.
Good.
And we went from there.
Awesome. Awesome.
I don't know what else.
Yes. No, it's okay. And you talk about your personal tie. Do you want to share a little bit about what particularly was the personal draw?
I would share some of that.
Yeah.
My son spent a couple more years than Johnny did in prison. And when he got out, which was just a couple of years ago, I went out to see him. He was in Minnesota. And I got an immediate realization of how difficult this was going to be for him. I thought I knew.
Yeah.
And just spending a week with him out there told me I didn't really know,
Yes.
that it's much harder than what I had thought about.
Yeah.
There were many more things to think about. In his particular case, homelessness was the first one.
Okay.
Income was another.
Right.
And without going into a lot of detail, he was going to have problems.
Yes.
And the only way I could help him, this may sound a little funny to a lot of people,
It's
but
okay.
the only way I could help him was as a father. But I don't believe that a father can mentor a son.
Yeah.
Okay, I think there's a personal relationship that goes beyond mentorship and makes it difficult for him to accept my advice,
Right.
and for me to advise him as objectively, for example, as I can talk to Johnny.
Yes. Yes.
So
I absolutely.
The blood makes a difference.
I can relate. Absolutely. All right.
I had hoped that, and it's been working out this way, that in working with mentees that were in that situation, I might learn something that would help him.
Yes.
So we'll see how that goes.
Yes. All right. Well, great. And so, what do you guys do together? You meet how often, and what do you do? I mean, Johnny, you've shared a little bit about what you get from this relationship, but how often do you guys meet, and what are some of the goals that you had been working
At least
on?
once a week.
Mm-hmm.
And we probably text each other maybe 3 or 4 times a week to let each other know what's going on, and you know, he gives me advice on things, and like he was just talking about, talking to somebody that's been in the same situation as his son.
Yes.
He just got my mind working now,
Yes.
because I got some things for him I'd like to
Share
with him.
Yeah.
You know,
All right.
I'd be like the son that he never had.
Oh, yes, yes. All right.
But,
Yeah, we've both been around long enough
Yeah.
so that we've got a lot of things to talk about.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so what I get from this is not only is the relationship, John, you to Johnny as a, mentor to mentee, but also mentee to mentor. So both of you get a lot out of this. Would you agree?
I would agree,
John, that's good.
definitely.
All right.
I have one other mentee that I'm working with. Different person, different type of relationship, different problems
Right.
to work out.
Yeah.
But they're not all the same.
All right, great. All right. So if someone's watching right now and, Johnny, you said when you first heard a mentor, you're like, well, I don't think I need one. But then you took a second look and thought, well, maybe I'll try it.
yeah.
If there's somebody out there that's listening and they are not quite sure, I don't want anybody telling me what to do or whatever, what would you say to somebody about having a mentor? Should they do it?
I would say yes. Don't be embarrassed if you got a mentor to help you maybe figure out a struggle in your life or something like that, or maybe give you an insight one way or the other, how you should think or something like that, because we all have problems with, like me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to admit I'm an alcoholic.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like Lay's potato chips to me. I can't have one. I got to have the whole 6-pack.
Yeah.
But like with him helping me, it keeps my mind focused on what I should really be doing in life.
Great.
I'm sober now. I got about 12 more days, and I'll be sober 18 months.
Wonderful.
Again.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you. And he's helped me with that.
Good.
I mean, he knows about my struggles with it. And like some people get hot-headed.
Yeah.
They have what they call, I'll say, an F moment. Can't use that kind of language here, but
Yes.
alcoholics are like that. They'll have an F moment and they'll go do something stupid. But with this program, it keeps me focused on where I need to be.
Wonderful.
And like I said earlier, he inspires me.
Yes.
I look at him 2 different ways. One is a good friend, and I'll say a little bit of a father figure, because my
Wonderful.
dad, if he was still alive, would be about his age.
Yes.
And to think about that, I wish my dad could have been around to help me
Oh.
know this stuff.
Yeah.
And he does that.
Wonderful.
What he just said about his son, it sort of touched me, because I'm like, maybe your son he's being closed-minded instead of open-minded.
Yeah.
Maybe that's something he needs to hear.
Yeah.
And anybody that wanted to be a mentor or a mentee, that would be something they could consider. Hey, maybe I can talk to somebody that can help me be not closed-minded, but open-minded
Very
about
good.
things.
Very good. Very
You
good.
know?
And you know what? You celebrate your sobriety, but also I understand you have a great accomplishment that you've achieved. That is being over the house or the home that you're staying in, and
Yes,
kind
I
of as a
live at
leader.
I live at an Oxford house.
Yes.
And it's a sober living house.
Yes.
I'm what they call the HSR.
Mm-hmm.
It's House Service Representative. I do interviews for recovering alcoholics or addicts.
Yes.
I mean, you don't have to be an alcoholic. You could be addicted to something else.
Right.
And we have open door. We take interviews, but we're not the only house. I mean,
Right.
there's Oxford houses all over the U.S. as far as that go, but there's
Okay.
a lot here in Indianapolis.
Yes.
And they look for people that want to live in a sober environment and stay sober. And that's part of what I do, is help guys get into these houses. And,
Yes.
I go do evaluations of other houses to make sure they're doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Spectacular.
Yeah.
That means that somebody saw something in you for you to put you in that kind of position.
Yeah.
You must be really showing some exemplary behavior and everything for them to put you in that. So kudos to you for that. And so, John, before we go, what would you say to someone who is considering being a mentor? I mean, this is not mentoring a youth. I always say that. it's easy, Big Brothers Big Sisters, Starfish. There are a lot of organizations that mentor kids or youth, but this is an adult, and it's intimidating to some folks. What would you say to them, if they're considering being a mentor?
I would say, first of all, that it's very rewarding.
Yeah.
It's not always as easy as this relationship sounds.
Yeah.
It's because I'm intimidating.
Johnny, as you could tell just by listening to him, he's pretty well educated.
Yes.
He's well spoken.
Yes.
I can speak to him on a level that is comfortable for me,
Yes.
and it's comfortable for him.
Yeah.
And I don't mean not speaking down to him. It's just a matter of he understands what I'm talking about. I've been a little bit surprised with him. I forget, might have been 3 or 4 meetings into our relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember asking him, I said, what am I doing for you?
Yeah.
What am I trying to do for you? Because unlike a lot of mentees, Johnny doesn't have a specific need, like I'm homeless, I need a home,
Right.
or I need a job, and that's what we're looking for. And I didn't know what his needs are,
Mm-hmm.
and that just keeps developing between us.
Yes.
I have to say I've been there, the homelessness and all that.
Yes. You've
But
achieved.
by staying sober, I've been able to get back into society.
Yes. Yeah.
His experience and our relationship is, I'll say our relationship is easier
Yes.
because he's conquered these other problems
Right.
before.
Right.
A mentor can look forward to perhaps finding somebody like Johnny if they get lucky, or they can expect to help somebody in specific areas which they may not and probably will not have any good experience with. So it's a learn-as-you-go situation.
Yes.
I will say that the association with trusted mentors
Yes.
makes it a whole lot easier because of the resources you have.
Thank you.
So the help that you folks give me
Yes.
so that I can give Johnny and my other mentees is a big part of it.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. That's what it's all about.
That is.
We support you so that you can support your mentees. So thank you so much for
And
that. We appreciate
I
it.
have to add, I'd tell anybody out there, don't be afraid to be a mentee. It's a place that you can really open up to people. You get to meet a lot of different people. You get to do a lot of different things. Prime example, we got to go to an Indiana Pacers game.
Yes.
I've never been to a professional basketball game in my whole life.
Yeah.
I've been to football, baseball, but never basketball, and got to go.
You got a chance to experience that with John. Awesome. Well, thank you all so much, guys. Your relationship really shows. We oftentimes say to people, they ask us about trusted mentors, and so what am I going to work with this person on, and what am I going to help them achieve? And sometimes we say, basically it's up to the mentee what they need, but sometimes it's just friendship. Sometimes, and like Johnny has said, it's just guidance. It's just helping them along the way, just to be a friend and someone who cares and someone who loves. And that is very evident in you all's relationship. Thank you all so much, John and Johnny, for being on Mentorship Matters. And I hope that you now see why mentorship matters. Now, if you are interested in being a mentor for Trusted Mentors, please call us at 317-985-5041, or you can go to our website at www.trustedmentors.org. Thank you so much for joining us for Mentorship Matters, and we'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.